What's up, everybody? This is Steve Sterlacci, and today we're going to talk about my literal dream guitar. I've had this guitar almost 2 years by now. What I have in my hand, is a 1972 ES 345 from Gibson, and there's a bunch of reasons why this is my dream guitar, but I wanted to show you all of the cool features that make this such an amazing guitar. So if you're a guitar player that's been playing from the 80s to today, I'm sure that you all have experienced the same thing that I did when I first saw Marty McFly play at the Enchantment Under the Sea dance and ES 345 and play Johnny B. Good. And that is really where my affinity with the 345 started. I'm a huge Back to the Future fan, and I've always wanted one ever since I saw that. By the way, a little odd that he played in 1955. He was playing a 1959 ES 345, but that's a story for another time. So what makes this one in particular so special? This is a 72, which means that Gibson was doing this embossed logo pickup. And the reason that that's so special to me personally is that my first trip to a vintage guitar shop, I remember looking up and seeing a walnut 355, I believe it was, with these Gibson embossed pickups. And I thought it was the coolest thing ever. And that image has stuck with me for the rest of my life until now when I actually have one. So the combination of those two things made me always want a guitar that looked like Marty McFly's, well, technically Marvin Berry's, but also had the embossed Gibson logo pickups like this one does. And I actually found this on a Facebook forum post where a guy just posted it, and I looked at it, I was like, wow, that's my dream guitar. I've always wanted to have one. I would love to have one. And then he just DM'd me and was like, hey, I'll cut you a deal. We worked it out, and here it is. Now, if you're one of those people thinking it's a 70s, it's a Norlin era, therefore it's garbage, you couldn't be more wrong. The Norlin era stuff actually isn't as terrible. Some of the stuff is bad. They made some definite questionable decisions in the 70s during the Norlin era, but the ES345 seemed to have escaped mostly in that regard. I actually had to, because it sounded so bad. I swapped out all of the electronics in this when I first got it. I also got it refretted. It had really flat frets. So the first thing I did, I took it to my friends at Division Street Guitars in Peekskill, New York, had them swap everything out. And originally this was wired stereo, which means that it was a stereo at the output jack. It was designed, I guess, to go to two different amps on stage, and each pickup would go to its own amp, which was a bizarre thing that they used to do. I don't understand it at all. But I got it wired to mono, and that means that they also had to flip the neck pickup magnet, because then the pickups will be out of phase. There's a lot of literature you could look up into this. So I got it switched to wired mono, ripped out all the electronics, and I put a Delisle Pentatone in for the Veritone. A lot of people just completely bypass the Veritone and keep the guitar for its looks because it's got the split block logos, the split block inlays, and it's just the coolest looking guitar ever, in my opinion. But a lot of people completely rip out this Veritone circuit, and that's a shame because it's actually really cool when it's done the right way. And the people at Delisle who make this Pentatone switch, they make a really awesome version of it that doesn't really suck your tone and doesn't kill anything. We'll get into that in the sound examples, but basically it's a notch filter. That's what this Veritone knob does, and that's what makes this guitar so unique. You could see it on some 355s and stuff, but mainly the 345 is what always has this baritone switch. So as you cycle through the positions, it will notch frequencies out of your tone, and Delisle did a really good job of recreating what it's supposed to sound like instead of keeping that crappy vintage version of it in there. The electronics in this were heavy. They were encased in big things of metal. It was just a bizarre period for Gibson, and the electronics were just very questionable. So there used to be a choke under here that was with the Veritone. All that's gone. And this is just a simple pot with a notch filter on it. It's lighter, it sounds better, and it's more for the modern era guitar player as opposed to the vintage purist, if you will. This also has a headstock repair that was done really well. It doesn't bother me because I got the guitar for cheaper, and it's everything I wanted in a guitar. This has literally become my favorite guitar. Probably my number one. So without further ado, let's play a little bit. I also just got this new Analog Outfitters Sarge, which is a pretty well-known amp in Nashville. A lot of session players swear by it, so I got one of these. I'm going through my Sir Reactive Load, and I'm going through my little pedal board here with a little MXR reverb. Let's hear what the guitar sounds like. We are on the bridge pickup. Let's go to both pickups here. And just do the neck here. All right, that was just to hear what it sounds like clean. Now let's, I'm just gonna noodle around and show you what it sounds like. So let's hit it with a little bit of overdrive first, and then we'll get to the Veritone. This is the vintage Nobles ODR1 right into the amp with a little bit of reverb. Hear what some of that neck pickup sounds like. Really great blues tone. Now let's mess around with this Veritone a little bit. So number one, the position is actually totally bypassed. So that is just the raw guitar sound that you're hearing. Go to position 2. Back to position 1 where it's bypassed. Now you'll really hear the difference. So you get that upper mid cut there. Now let's go to position 3, which is 875 hertz. Now you kind of get that lo-fi lack of mids here. Go to the neck pickup of position 3. Position 4 is a 500 cut. Now you kind of get that cool honky mid-range happening. Really gets that vintage blues type of vibe. Position 5 is a 275 cut, which is going to cut out some low. Finally, position 6 is a cut at 105. Almost gives you a little single coil harshness to it. All right, I'm just going to play you guys out. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.